everybody, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So today we are going to discuss the Madeline Soto case. And the reason I'm talking about it again when we've had no recent updates is because we need to keep her name alive. We can't forget about her. And I haven't talked about her in quite a few days now. So I think that we just need to, go over her story again. So we're going to do that. And I'm sorry, I'm not picking my nose. I had an itch. I'm going to try and cover as much as possible because, again, we need to keep her name alive. We can't let anyone think we forgot about her, because I certainly haven't forgotten her and never will. I will never forget Madeline Soto. I regretfully say that there are children in the past who we've covered. Well, I haven't covered on my channel, but like way in the past that have gone on forgotten. One I can think of is little Haley Cummings from Satsuma, Florida, who, went missing. And we'll talk about that story one day. I'm actually working on it now. She went missing and she was big news for a couple months, and then it all just went away. And we can't let this go away. We need... Haley's never been found. We don't know what happened to her. She's never gotten any justice. And I have my theories on what happened. The police have their theories on what happened. I don't know. But I don't want Madeline to be, forgotten. I understand the police are doing their investigation and they're going to get him. They're going to get him for doing this to her. But we need to keep talking about her, I feel. That's just my opinion. It's not to be depressing. It's not to keep news sad. It's just, I just feel like we need to keep her name alive. So we're just going to go, kind of go through the timeline. Now, some of the times, like clockwise that I give, I have found varying times, but these are the times most consistent with my research. So like time-wise, what I give is what I know, like 8:30, 4 o'clock, whatever. Okay, so we're going to start on Sunday, February 25th. Madeline Soto had a birthday party celebrating her 13th birthday. Her actual birthday is on February 22nd. And her mom, Madeline's mom, didn't attend the birthday party because she had to work. And many people are curious about that and find it suspicious. Me, I don't find that suspicious at all. I don't really think it's that weird. I would have never missed one of my child's birthday parties and would plan it on a day I could be there and make sure I could be there that day. But we have no idea what occurred. Any number of things could have happened. Maybe someone called in sick and she covered for him. Maybe it meant extra money for the household or something. What was the other thing? Maybe she celebrated with Madeline on her actual birthday, had a special mom-daughter thing. Who knows? Maybe they decided to have it on that Sunday because some of Madeline's friends who she really wanted to be at the party could only be there on Sunday. Maybe they had like some kind of sports practice or something going on Saturdays and can only attend parties and stuff on Sunday. There could be any number of reasons they had the party on the Sunday after Madeline's birthday. And that just was a day Jen couldn't be there, and maybe it was just more important, as it is for young girls, to have her friends there. We just don't know. Or there could be some sinister reason involving Stefan. That's entirely possible. We may never know. But thinking that it might be some sinister reason involving Stefan is, I don't think, that far from reality, honestly. So now we're going to move forward to Monday, February 26th. Oh, I want to go back to the 25th, the day before this. Her mom said in her interview with WFTV, hey, Marshall.
Hey, should I put the bandage back on, or should I just leave it off now?
I would just leave it off unless you want it on.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Marshall just had surgery and he had a question about his rapping. So I want to go back to the 25th. So Madeline's mom, Jen, told WFTV that the last time she spoke to Madeline was the night of her birthday party. You know, they talked about her birthday party. She showed her gifts, said goodnight, all that. But she had told the police the last time she spoke to Madeline or saw Madeline was that morning. And she knew what Madeline was wearing. Of course, that information could have been given to her by Stefan, but she did tell the police that she saw her that morning, the morning of February 26th. So that's odd. And it's very possible she forgot or something. I just definitely would not forget. Well, I can't say definitely, but I really don't believe I would forget the last time I saw my child who went missing. But at this point, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Just at this point as of February 26th, 8 in the a.m. So at 8:30 a.m., Maddie was allegedly driven to school by her mom's boyfriend, Stefan Stearns, but dropped off at a nearby church. And we, of course, now know that's not true, but we'll get to that. Now, right here, I want to insert that, again, I put this in a previous video, but when we were in Orlando, we drove to that church and then saw how far away the high school was. And she was saying, it's right next to the high school. She was saying it like it was just right there, right slap next to it. And it wasn't. It was the only other building next to the church, but it was still quite a walk, like about a half a mile, which I personally think is a long walk for a little girl in the early morning hours. But it doesn't matter anyway, because we know she wasn't dropped off at the church. Around 4:30 that same day, Jen claimed she went to the school to pick Madeline up. And the reason I say claim is because, well, I mean, she went to the school because the police met her there. But the reason I'm saying it like that is because we, at this point, even though as of right now, the police have said Jen isn't a suspect, we're suspicious because of the inconsistencies in her stories. But when she arrived at Hunters Creek Middle School, Madeline wasn't there waiting for her mom. And Jen said she thought maybe Madeline walked to her Jen's mom's office, which was nearby. She called Madeline's friends and reached out to a teacher and found out Madeline wasn't in school at all that day. And somewhere around 8 to 8:30, but that time has been a little inconsistent in my research, but we're going with 8 to 8:30, but it could have been a little earlier. Madeline's mom reported her missing. Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies met Jen at the school where they canvassed the area. So yeah, that's what we know as of February 26th. Now on Tuesday, February 27th at 6:51 p.m., Madeline's missing poster was released and police widened the search. At 10 p.m., Fox 35 interviews mom, where Stefan Stearns is seen lurking around in the background like the creeping freak he is. I'm sorry, that's not good reporting. I'm not a reporter. I am an individual giving my personal commentary. And you know, we all knew. I think a lot of us knew when we saw this interview and saw him in the background. I feel like, and maybe I'm alone here, but I don't think I am. I think a lot of us knew when we saw him. We knew he had something to do with it. I just feel that. I feel that we had suspicions immediately. And when we saw Stearns in his WFTV interview with that ridiculous crying, that fake crying, monstrous. Wednesday, February 28th at 3:30 p.m., Orange County Sheriff John Mina holds a press conference to update the community of the search for Madeline. At one point, Sheriff Mina stated no information indicated another family member was involved at that time, nor was there any turmoil in the house. Little did we know. Little did he know. Well, I think a lot of us suspected, but apparently it was nothing but turmoil for Madeline in that house with that monster of a man. I'm not even gonna call him a man. Men don't do that. Men don't do what he did to that little girl. And a little over 6 hours later, that same day, February 28th, that Wednesday, at 9:52 p.m., Stephen Stearns was arrested on unrelated charges. But because he was the last confirmed person to see Madeline, he is now considered a prime suspect in Madeline's disappearance. We haven't yet found Madeline's body, but in her disappearance, he's suspected to be a prime suspect. Several explicit images and video were found on Stearns' phone, and the actions captured in the images and video happened at the Soto home, and he was charged with battery and possession of CSA material. And Stearns did attempt to delete evidence from his phone. You know, Mr. Factory Reset. On Friday, March 1st at 9:30 a.m., Stearns is transferred from Orange County to Osceola County. At 1 p.m., Sheriff Mina announces investigators are confident Madeline has passed. At 4:30 p.m., Madeline's body was found off of Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. The body was found wearing clothing similar to what Madeline was last reported wearing. Stearns was last seen in that area between 1 and 2:30 on the Monday of Madeline's disappearance. He was driving his silver Lincoln MKZ and is believed to have been changing a flat tire. Deputies believe Madeline was deceased before she would have been dropped off at school on that Monday morning, the 26th. Now, where he was seen changing his tire was kind of across the street from where Madeline's body was found. That's what I was getting out of the information. Video evidence showed Stearns discarding items in a dumpster at the Kissimmee apartment complex at 7:45 a.m. the morning Madeline went missing, and later the items were recovered and identified as Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop. There is video evidence of Stearns returning to his neighborhood with Madeline visible in the car on that Monday, February 26th, and Sheriff Mina states that Madeline was deceased at that time. At this point in the timeline, police do not have a reason to believe that Jen Soto is a suspect in the case. So, why did he drive back to the apartment with Madeline in the car, like back to the complex? Maybe to set up an alibi, like, yeah, she was with me. And to think really darkly, maybe he was sharing her. I hate saying it that way because it makes it sound polite, but you just don't know. You don't know what happened after that birthday party. You know, did she even make it home? Did she even go to sleep in her own bed that night? I just wonder. I really wonder. Tuesday, March 5th at 4:30 p.m., FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement has been asked to investigate after an alleged crime scene photo from where Madeline was found was posted to social media. On Wednesday, March 6th, an affidavit shows details into charges filed against Stearns. Some of the photos and videos found on Stearns' cell phone were time-stamped back to August 2022. Madeline would have been 11 at the time. The victim's name is redacted, but the full birthday on the affidavit matches Madeline's birthday, and an attachment specified to victim, or specifically specified the victim as the missing child. On Thursday, March 7th, a community memorial for Madeline was held at Peace Methodist Church. On Tuesday, March 12th, 60 more charges were filed against Stearns, all related to photos and videos found on his cell phone. The charges are 8 counts of battery on a child under 12, 5 counts of battery with a child aged 12 to 18, 7 counts of lewd and lascivious M-word station, 40 counts of unlawful possession of material depicting performance by a child, 10 or more images. So that means there's a minimum of 400 pictures and videos found. There's a minimum of 400 of them. The 36-page affidavit is extremely graphic and disturbing, so I won't go into detail, but it's hideous what was done to the child or the children in the images. We still don't know if it's more than one child, but I suspect it might all be Madeline. But it's grotesque. It is the most horrible thing I can think about to be done to an adult being done to a child. And the ABUSC, according to the material obtained, started on June 19th, 2019, and go on all the way to February 26th, 2024, which was the date of her disappearance. So it seems like sometime after midnight, he filmed or photographed himself or maybe somebody else doing something to her. Which was the day Madeline was reported missing, unless it was an image involving another child. It is actually unclear who the victim or victims are, but if one of them is Madeline, she would have been 8 years old when the ABUSC began, and that's according to the dated material. But come on, we all know she is the victim in at least some of them, but I believe probably all of them, because she is who he had the easiest access to for that time period. It could have started sooner, but the earliest recorded evidence so far was June 19th, 2019. He probably went through a really heinous grooming process, and Stearns will be arraigned on April 2nd, according to the state attorney's office. S battery on a child under 12 is a capital felony. It's capital S battery, and is punishable by life in prison or the death penalty. While that is true that Governor DeSantis signed legislation in, I believe, October of 2023, that a capital S battery can be punishable by the death penalty, because that legislation was signed in late 2023, and that's S battery on a child under the age of 12 specifically, and those abuses occurred before that may not apply. And they may find that unconstitutional or whatever. Now, I want to stress this because somebody misunderstood that and called me sick. It is for capital S battery against a child under 12. They can get the death penalty. So in 2023, she was 12 years old, so it wouldn't have applied then. But any of the S battery, the 8, I think it was 8. It was the 8 counts of S battery. That's capital S battery on a child. Those counts would be punishable by the death penalty according to legislation. But like I said, there may be issues with timing and such. So don't come in my comments and call me a sicko. I'm just telling you the facts. And if she was over 12, those images and videos won't qualify him for the death penalty. But it doesn't matter, because as soon as they slap him with the unalivened charges, he's going to get the death penalty. More than likely, I can't see them seeking less for him. His other charges carry sentences up to life in prison or 15 years in prison for each count. So he's going to be away for life, even if they don't charge him with the unalivened. He's definitely going to be found guilty of these images, and he's done. But we want justice for her unalivened. We don't just want justice for these crimes against her, but also for the crime of her being unalived. Since Stearns' arrest, he has not spoken to police about his charges. On Thursday, March 21st, Kissimmee Police Chief Betty Holland provides an update on the investigation into Madeline's death. There really wasn't much new, but she did say Madeline's mom and everyone is cooperating with police except for Stearns. And there really hasn't been any new information. We're still awaiting murder charges to be filed, but as I've said before, they want to be really careful because Casey Anthony was found not guilty of unaliving Kaylee, and they only had circumstantial evidence, and it wasn't good enough to sentence someone to the death penalty. So they really want to make sure that they can nail him. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to go over that timeline again. Keep Madeline's name alive, And, you know, hopefully we'll get some more news soon. Hopefully they'll be able to charge him or find whoever did this. I think it was him, or he's covering for somebody. So, I mean, to me, those are the only possibilities. But I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye.